The summer of 1973 wasn't just another season in music history, it was the battleground for the soul of rock and roll. Three British giants clashed in a chart war that redefined the genre, each vying to claim the mantle of the new era. But here's where it gets controversial. Was this a fight for rock's future, or the beginning of its fragmentation into something unrecognizable? Let's dive in. It's often said that movements rise slowly but fall in an instant. The 1960s, with its peace and love, ended not with a whimper but a bang, literally, with the Manson murders casting a shadow of paranoia. The 1970s emerged not as a unified movement, but as a chaotic collage of subversive statements. Nowhere was this more evident than in classic rock, which was now asking itself, what are we even called anymore? The answer began to take shape in the spring and summer of 1973, as Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, and the Rolling Stones unleashed albums that would shape the genre's identity. Pink Floyd kicked things off with The Dark Side of the Moon on March 1st, an album that initially seemed like an oddity. Roger Waters, reflecting on its creation, recalled his wife bursting into tears after hearing it for the first time. This has obviously struck a chord, he thought. And he was right. The album wasn't just music, it was a complete experience. With Alan Parsons' revolutionary production, philosophical depth, and seamless concept, it became an audiophile's dream. Yet, it debuted at a modest 95 in the US charts, a testament to its unconventional approach. But here's the kicker. It would go on to stay in the charts for 741 weeks, a record that still stands today. Was this the future of rock, or an anomaly? Led Zeppelin entered the ring with Houses of the Holy, released the same month. Coming off the heels of Led Zeppelin 4, one of the best-selling albums ever, they could have played it safe. Instead, they expanded their sound with reggae, funk, and orchestral flourishes. Tracks like D or Macker and The Rain Song showed a band unafraid to experiment while retaining their raw power. But their climb to the top was slow, taking until May to reach number 1. Was this a sign of rock's evolving complexity, or a band losing its edge? The Rolling Stones, meanwhile, dropped Goat's Head Soup in August, an album born out of their Jamaican exile. Facing backlash from the Altamont tragedy, they softened their sound with ballads like Angie. It was a risk, and their rise to number 1 was laboured. But their commercial dominance proved that the old guard still had a place. Or did it? As younger generations sought to subvert rather than follow, was this the beginning of rock's decline into nostalgia? And this is the part most people miss. While these three albums battled for supremacy, Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road quietly held the top spot for the longest stretch in 1973. Was this a sign that pop had usurped rock as the paramount art form? Or was it just a blip in an otherwise rock-dominated year? These albums didn't just compete, they represented rock's splintering into three pillars: Pink Floyd's experimentation, Led Zeppelin's polished heaviness, and the Rolling Stones' old-school riffs. But what did it all mean? Was rock evolving, or was it losing its way? And more importantly, does rock and roll still have a place in today's music landscape, or has it been relegated to a bygone era? Let's hear your thoughts. Do you think these albums defined rock's future, or were they the last gasps of a dying genre? Comment below and let's spark a debate.